starting to dig back into this movie that I loved as a kid, I couldn't believe that this too was a 1985 release, and the sheer amount of on-screen goodness that we got that year, it just begs more research. Whether you guys and ghouls want it or not, I vow to you, we will do an 85 deep dive on this channel. But before we get to that though, we need to get to this. And this, of course, I'm talking about 1985's Just One of the Guys. Phoenix, Arizona is where this gender-bending tale unfolds, and it's centered all around the stunning Terry Griffith, who is a senior at Edwina Pearl High School. I believe I said that correctly, and she's got hopes to become a reporter. Now, Terry is played by Joyce Heiser, and honestly, I don't know that I've ever seen her anywhere else, and I'm surprised that I didn't see more of her after this movie because I thought she was very, very good here. And in the film, she's a sought-after girl at her school, but she's in a committed relationship to a college guy named Kevin. And there's red flags everywhere with that whole thing. Maybe he's a college freshman. She's a senior in high school. Maybe it's acceptable. Feels weird right from the get-go in this movie. But off the bat, I gotta say, the cast is fun as hell here. And the standout amongst a really good group is Terry's sex-crazed little brother. And I do mean this guy is horny as hell. His name's Buddy, and he's played impeccably by Billy Jane. We've got Denise as the needy best friend who always seems to be there when Terry is going through a little bit of turmoil, and that, of course, is all before we get to the other high school that would play a significant role in Terry's life moving forward. Now, Terry is convinced that her hopes of being a reporter one day will be helped dramatically by this contest that's going on at her high school, where her faculty advisor picks an article written by one of their students, submits it to the newspaper, and based on the merit of that article, that student will earn a summer internship with the newspaper. She sees this as a perfect way to show everybody that she's talent with a brain as opposed to just talent with a body, because every time anybody talks about her, they mention her looks. And yes, we mentioned her looks right off the bat here. She's a very beautiful young woman, but I can understand these people that she encounters, they just kind of look at her and treat her like she's a show pony. They don't act like she's got any sort of substance to her, so she sees this as a great opportunity. Sadly, though, her article is not one of the ones that's picked. The faculty advisor assures her that she's a great writer. There's just nothing there. It's not exciting. Nobody wants to read about it. But she convinces herself it's because she's a woman, and a plan is born. She decides she's going to go undercover as a boy at rival high school Sturgis Wilder. Awful goddamn name for schools in this movie. I mean, they're just terrible. Grab bag bad. And that's where she's planning on transferring for the rest of the school year, at least for a couple of weeks, to submit her article there, and maybe she can win on that end of things. I mean, easy, right? What could possibly go wrong? Not so fast, cowgirl. Or boy in this case. The advisor at the new high school essentially tells her what the advisor at the old high school told her. There's serious talent there. She's a good writer, but what she's choosing to write about is boring as all hell. Nobody's going to want to read it. Find something exciting. There's a couple weeks left in the contest. Come back and wow me. Now, Terry was hoping to be in and out of this experiment. She doesn't like dressing like a boy. She had to cut her hair short, pissed off her boyfriend, but she appears the part. I mean, when she shows up as Terry the boy, she looks exactly like a boy. And Sherilyn Fenn's character, Sandy, says with lust in her voice, this guy looks exactly like the Karate Kid. Spitting image. And she's not lying. On top of all of that, ironically, this movie's Thanos happens to be William Zabka of Cobra Kai fame as Bully Greg Toland. I mean, this movie, when you're watching it, it feels like it has everything you need for a great 80s time. So a lot of the comedy comes from Terry trying to do her impression of what she feels like a guy would do. And as a beautiful girl, I'm sure she's got great insight into the mind of a teenage boy. There's macho shit in the bathroom. She's calling beers brewskis. When she's got to change in the locker room for PE, though, that's when it's one of those whole shit moments for her. On top of PE, let's talk about this phys ed teacher that's a little too obsessed with bowling of all things. I mean, That's one of the things I do dig about this movie. The characters they give us are colorful, and they've got these little quirks about them, and that is definitely a quirk.
That creep can roll, man.
Yeah, but he's a pervert, dude.
Yeah.
She's really walking on eggshells because she's got to get changed for gym, and she can't do it in the locker room because the rack's going to pop out. So she's got to set a fire in the bathroom just to clear everybody out, and she shows up on the court soaking wet. I mean, basically, when she finds out she's got to play in a game of basketball, shirts versus skins, and she's on the skin side of things, she essentially fakes like diverticulitis, basically, just so she doesn't have to participate in gym that day. I mean, she's really navigating a lot. Now, Sandy is locked in on Terry, and Sherilyn Fenn in the 80s was an absolute goddess. I mean, if you've never seen The Wraith, I can understand why somebody would come back from the dead for that woman. But she's completely smitten with Terry in this boy form. And the guy version, Terry, makes Rick Morehouse her pet project and the focal point of her new story. She feels like if she can take this average guy around the high school and get him a prom date, spruce him up a little bit, that'll make for a very exciting and page-turning read. But the problem with that is as Rick gets out there and tries to secure a date for the prom, he's a lot like LeBron James. You know, as soon as contact is made, this dude flops around on the floor like a dead fish. Does not go well in the least, at least at the very beginning until the makeover kicks in. And then there's Buddy. Buddy. I believe Buddy's 15 years old in this movie. Terry's little brother is bound and determined to lose his virginity. And every second of this film, he's trying to do so. He's constantly propositioning to Denise, who is, again, Terry's best friend. Really good in this movie, too. She's got a small role, but she plays her part well. And she's beautiful in her own right. And Buddy is quite taken with her. He acts as Terry's sort of liaison during this experiment into this other high school as a boy. I mean, the dynamic between these two as brother and sister is one of the strengths in the movie. I just thought it was awesome. It was believable. For example, Kevin shows up for a date, but boy Terry has been out earlier with Sandy and trying desperately to avoid Sandy's advances, winds up getting a little bit drunk off of branded beer, and Kevin, in the most useful thing he does in this film, tells her that while you were upstairs getting drunk in the closet, which was her excuse for not coming downstairs to greet him sooner, I got to do algebra. Now, that's a simple line, and I probably didn't deliver it as well as Kevin did. By far the best thing he does in this movie, probably in his acting career. I just laugh every single time I hear it because Kevin, as he's waiting for Terry to come downstairs to go on their date, he is basically cock-blocking Buddy during this algebra study along with this girl that Buddy is trying to wind up sleeping with. Great line, great little segment of the movie. I laugh every single time I see it. Rick's makeover, this proves to be the turning point in this movie for Rick. It gives him the courage to stand up to Greg Tolan and his table-lifting shenanigans, as well as ask out Deborah, who up until this point has been Greg Tolan's girlfriend, and she's basically the Terry of that high school that Terry was to her old school, the prettiest girl on campus. Then Terry gets jealous, and she's getting jealous because as she's been working with Rick and getting to know Rick and hanging out with Rick, she started developing feelings for Rick, and it couldn't help that Kevin, her actual boyfriend, is a prick about her short hair, her looks lately, the fact that she wants to be a reporter as opposed to a model. He's not supportive, and Terry is looking elsewhere, and you can start to see those feelings really build right around the time that she's got this guy dressed up, looking good, looking sharp, and giving him the confidence to go out there in the world. This, of course, all comes to a head at the prom with Greg Tolan doing his very best Johnny Lawrence impression and fighting everyone. Kevin winds up showing up, and then when Kevin gets there, boy Terry and girl Terry's worlds in this movie just sort of collide with one another. The tux winds up being opened up. That flash happens that changed my young life, and fans of this movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that flash. And overall, the strength of this movie from start to finish is really these characters that we're starting to see this climax happen to. You know, we're figuring out what's going to happen with Buddy. But aside from Buddy, as good as he was, we've got all these ancillary characters like Stuart Carno of Friday the 13th Part 2 and Once Bitten fame. He is here as this reptile-loving high schooler. We get a couple of these dorks who thinks they're aliens, and they're always next to each other, and when the bullies pull them apart, they make this really strange sound and reach for each other. I mean, much like the PE teacher obsessed with bowling, these guys all are fairly well-rounded characters that have meaningful things to do in the scenes that you see them in. The band at the prom killed that shit. The 80s music was just on point in this film. And Buddy, above all else, will make you laugh. If you don't enjoy anything about this movie, which is impossible, I'm going to add, Buddy will make you laugh with this rampant, random, hip-thrusting, sexual sounds, dogged determination. I mean, he does not take no for an answer. He is not deterred when he is shunned by a woman. He finds another one. I mean, for my money, he's a standout here. Terry's a knockout on the 10 to 10 type scale. And this is what I talk about when you rewatch a movie. You know, I want to have a great time. I want to laugh. I want to tap into something from my adolescence and just go back to that place. And when I say it's a time machine, I mean a lot more than just, it's kind of like when you taste something that you remember from another time in your life and you kind of go back there a little bit. That's, for me, that's kind of what movies do. And I feel like that's what we got here. Just one of the guys, I mean, 8 out of 10 for me. It ages gracefully. I don't know overall what we did to deserve a year like 1985 like we got. It was really, really good to us, and I'm really looking forward to actually spending some time and talking about the movies of that year. Maybe we'll rank them, maybe we won't. I'm not really sure. I just want to look back and see exactly how many bangers came out of 1985. I'm excited about the opportunity to do that. I like projects. I like little side quests, and that's what we're going to do at some point moving forward. But up until then, until that point, think about subscribing to the channel. If you like this video, if you like just one of the guys, like the video. Maybe throw a comment on there. Let me know what this movie means to you. Did you see it? What did you think of it? Do you prefer this Greg Toland bully versus Johnny Lawrence? For my money, Johnny Lawrence is a much more redeemable character than the guy we get here. But William Zabka was really in his bag in the 80s.
Pussy toss for distance. Hey, get off me! Get off me! Rick, get off! Watch your prickers.
And that, as they say, is that. We're going to move on to the next one. I appreciate you guys being here. This is Aging Gracefully. I'm Matthew Essex from my new comfy, cozy confines of my home for as long as the girls let me have this part of the house. And I will see you guys on the other side. Maybe from my garage next week.